Welcome back to our St. Louis Blues rebuild in Franchise Hockey Manager 11. As we approach the end of the 2033-2034 season, we do find ourselves in first place in our division, and I do think in the league as well. So we've been doing pretty good since last time you were with us. Still, shootouts are still pretty bad. 0-6 is not what you would expect from a top team, but obviously that's where 6 of our 9 overtime losses are. Goals for 261 and 201 goals against. So we've been pretty decent defensively. I wouldn't say that crazy offensively. But we'll end up adjusting things for Anaheim. Hopefully we can manage to go on a decent streak here. And we do win. We win 6-2 there. Spangberg, Hagens with 2, and then Watson with 1. Nate Danielson, I feel as though he was with us at some point. Maybe not. Name that sounds pretty familiar. And Zalesny and then Hagens ends up scoring again. So it looks like Hagens got a hat trick there. So nice way to start off this game with a win over Anaheim Ducks. And doesn't look like they're going to make the playoffs. Look like it might be a team in our division. So not bad at all. So we should be able to hopefully kind of cruise through this. And Rubric Inc.'s extension. So how long does he have here? 7 years, 60 million. That's crazy. But he is pretty good though. So will be pretty tough to end up beating them for sure. 5-4 loss against Washington. Away from home though. So overtime point we do get at least. Cool with his 20th. Spangberg with his 23rd, and then Meyer only with 7 this season, and then Aaron's with 21, and then we end up losing in overtime. At least it's not a shootout. If we end up losing in the shootouts, I would have been a little bit upset. We do find ourselves somewhat clear of second place, so we should be able to cruise through this and manage to retain top spot, which we haven't really done too much in this series. It's been a little bit of an uphill battle. Wow, a 9-0 win there. Hagens, Spangberg, Olsen, and Dickinson. And then Dickinson scores in the second, Zalesny and Spangberg, and then Watson. So it looks like Spangberg got a hat trick too. He's developing very nicely. Yeah, 69 grades, 65 points, so pretty good like what he did when he was 21. And that is what I like to see from a player like that. So we do eclipse 100 points though. We are the first team to do it. I just wonder if we're going to be the only team that does it. I kind of doubt that. Sharks look like they should be able to do it. Same thing with Canucks. And does look like Anaheim could be closing in on that. Tony almost ready to come back. So we do like seeing that as well. We do face against Utah. Might be our wild card spot. And we do lose 3-2 there. Hagens with a goal and Patterson with a goal. But ultimately we end up losing in overtime once more. So just adding to that, only our losses so far in this episode have been overtime losses, but that's still something that you don't want to get used to. Obviously it's nice to get the point, but you want to know that your team can at least win when games get extended, and it's not it's only really a 5-minute period anyways. We do win 3-2 against Detroit. Zalesny, Waldman getting one of his only goals this season, and then Bolduc as well. Waldman getting the opportunity now that some players have been injured. He's done well in the AHL. He has 10 points also in the NHL and a 62 grade. He's only really playing 10 minutes, so that is fairly good. And now, as I talk about him, he ends up getting injured 1 to 2 weeks. So we'll have to see what the AI does to that. But still pretty crazy. We do find ourselves comfortably in first though in the whole league. So I feel as though it should be smooth sailing. Does look like Minnesota at least won that one game. So it might be a little bit more difficult to make something happen there. Oz get out 5 days, but that shouldn't matter. And it does look like they're just going to jump over Waldman, though. And New Jersey, we win 3-2. Hagens with a goal, and Aaron's with a goal, and then Bolduc with the game winner in overtime. So at least we win that one in overtime, but it would be nice to be able to see all the games that you end up winning in overtime and kind of see that record as well. I would like to see that in future games. We can possibly get 50 wins this season, but I feel as though it might be a little bit more difficult to get that done. Some improvements. looking at that. Mata looking like he's producing pretty decently. And yeah, it looks like Joey Stewart. He should be playing for us next season. He is a 3-star player. What did we get him at? I think we got him a little bit later. Oh, please don't tell me he was a first-round pick. Where did we pick him? He was 76, so 3rd round. So that's very good for a 3rd rounder. Any 3rd rounder that ends up making it is always a good decision. I know we had like so many of them, so it's like 1 out of probably like 30 end up really doing something with it. But Ivanov looking like he's improving as well. We could really use him next year. He is more of a right defense, though. I do want him to play more lefty. That would definitely help as well. We do have a decent amount of chunk this year, but next year we're going to have to offload some players as well to kind of combat this the cap for sure. And like I said, I did initially say that Augustin could have been one of those casualties, but it looks like he's firing on all cylinders. 38 wins, and his goals against is tightening up as well. But I know that's more of a defensive thing. We'll look at his save percentage at the end of the season to kind of see what everyone's done. Dallas, we do win 4-1 away from home, so I like seeing that too. Meyer scores early, and then Stutzel, Spangberg, and Bowmuller. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you some of the transactions. We did get Bowmuller. Usually we haven't made so many, so we end up getting Bowmuller or Ballmuller for Capco, Palmer 4th and a 7th. So he's playing left. He can play left and right wing. We're mainly featuring him on the left. He has gotten 6 points in 16 games. He's mainly to fill out for Martoni. Because initially I thought he was going to be gone for the whole season, but it does look like he should be back for the playoffs, and should be pretty good. Looks like Spangberg got Player of the Month, which is always a positive, and 68 in 76 games. He has proven to be one of the stars of this series, and probably one of the stars of the team. Like I don't think I could ever get rid of the guy, no matter what. Like Martoni is one of those that I could. Eventually, but feels though Spangberg are going to have to kind of make room for him. So we do win our second matchup against Anaheim there. We lose, we go down earlier in the second, but we come back almost immediately. Within a minute and a half, Plaxton scores. Stepanov gets his 5th, and then Olsen scores as well. So not too bad overall. And that is what I like to see. There's only 2 games left. We need one of them to hit 50 wins. San Jose Sharks have already done that, and I mean, I thought San Jose was kind of out of it, but turns out they're actually killing it right now. Face off against Dallas. We're at home though, 5-2, so we do get 50. Bo Muller, I'm just gonna call him Joby. Joby ends up scoring for 16th. Olsen gets 1, and then Kuhl, Meyer, and Bolduc. So the third was all ours, but could have been a different game. Puts us up to 111 points. And 50, 20, and 11. Obviously, I'm going to hate these last 2 games because it would have been nice to finish with only 10 overtime losses. So we'll finish it off against Utah, and we might end up playing them in the playoffs. 7-4 win there. Does put us up to 113 points. Zalesny, Bieber, and Zalesny in the first. And then we do give up a decent amount we give up 3 goals there in the second. That's not a good sign. Stepanov and then Aaron kind of extend that for us. And then we do give up 1 in the third, and then Kuhl and Bolduc end up scoring for us. But ultimately, a pretty decent showing. And I'll have to take a look at, but it looks like we might end up playing Nashville. LA Kings looks like they swooped in and beat out Utah, so we get robbed of a divisional matchup there. But we'll look at everyone's stats first, kind of see how everyone did, and we'll look at the grades as well. So Spangberg finishes the season with 1 point over Hoggins, and he played a little bit less, so that's even more impressive. Stutzel plays a full season but gets 69 points, Kuhl with 57, Dupont with 57, and then Aaron Olsen with 54. Aaron Olsen, Aaron, Jesus, okay. Bolduc kind of doesn't shell out at the end. He was one of our leaders for sure. 49 points in 67 games is not what you would expect. Dickinson with 44, and then Watson showing up with 43. That's pretty impressive. Bowmuller ends up finishing with 10. I know I'd say Joby, but screw that up anyways. Worst grades go towards Waldman, Peterson, and Nabakic. Goalies, though, and save percentage, Reinhold at least managed to get 907. He played 14 games, a 9-2-3. That is very good. He did very well despite starting the season off pretty slow. 225 goals against average and a 907 save percentage. A little bit better than Augustin, but obviously Augustin's played more. 68 games with 42 wins, 18 losses, and 8 overtime losses. He definitely put it on towards the end of the season. A 903 and a 264 goals against, which is pretty good, if I do say so myself. Does put him in the top two for goals against, and then the top in terms of wins. So 42 wins is pretty decisive. And we're going to take a look at the nominees and see where we end up getting slated, because I feel as though we definitely did. It doesn't look like, I think I had to hit continue here, and then it'll show me. But yeah, we're definitely going to get slated by somehow, and we'll have to take a look at what the nominees are. So we don't get nominated for the Hart. That's understandable. And Vezina not even considered. That is dirty poor. Holmgreen with only 35 wins and 25 losses. That doesn't seem that good. So it just goes strictly on save percentage. And then same thing with Blomqvist. Blomqvist, wow, he doesn't look very good. 32 wins and 26 losses, but 920 save percentage. He's only a 2-star, so it does go to show that stars don't necessarily mean as much. And then elbow tendonitis. So Jeffrey Chan is hurt as well. Hopefully that doesn't affect them. But 35 wins, 19 losses. But I wonder where stacks off for them. So nominees for the Norris were not nominated as well. No Calder, so we don't have any rookies, obviously, or any youngsters that are making their debut. We don't get nominated for anything. We finished top of the league. We do get at least the Jack Adams, but that is still crazy that none of our players get even featured on anything. I'm not surprised, but we'll take a look at the standings in the league, though. We finish, there we go. We finished first in the league. We finished with a 29-8-4 home record and a 22-12-7. So ultimately, most of our overtime losses have come away from home. So something to take note. We did win the last 6, so that's pretty good as well. We do finish in second in terms of wins, though. 307 goals for 223, so an 84 difference. A lot of that attributed to the last couple of games that we managed to do. But looking at the wild card, and we'll see who we're going to end up playing. So we do finish top of our division, and looks like we're playing Nashville Predators, which will be pretty interesting. They did do well last year, and hopefully you can manage to start things off right, because we definitely want to go deep in this one. Feels as though it's kind of a failure if we don't. Actually, it feels as though it's an incredible failure if we don't, because President's trophies don't mean anything, and yeah, definitely need to kind of win something now or kind of go home at this point, because we're reaching probably the tail end of this series, and we definitely need to get some silverware to kind of make it worth it. Our matchups this season, though, we played them 4 times. We won the 2 first ones, and we lost the 2 first ones, and then we won the last 2. So 2-2. That's not necessarily the greatest that I want to see. Obviously, playoffs matter more, and we're going to have to start this off at home. Can we manage to get the first win here? We do 5-1 pretty comfortably. Cool Meager gets his first of the postseason. Spangberg, Bieber, and Martoni all on the score sheet as well. So 1-0 series lead. I didn't even look at who else is playing. I just wanted to get into it, but I'll look at it now and kind of see where everyone else is. Looks like Olsen's going to be out day to day. Penguins and Pittsburgh. That's going to be an interesting, Philly and Pittsburgh. So 2 series that we've managed to do as well. I do want Montreal to win, obviously. Panthers and Detroit. So it looks like, oh my God, if Detroit ends up losing, that'd be crazy. Rangers look like they're going to win there as well. Another series we did. And Nashville and us, I'm hoping that we end up making a clean sweep and get some rest here. Winnipeg will probably win, and San Jose Sharks, I feel as though, have to win. And then Vancouver should get the job done. Obviously, with their goalie being injured, that is a huge hit. So game 2 here, can we manage to win as well? We do win 5-0. That's why I like to see Spangberg, Cool, and then Spangberg again, Stepanov, and Cool score as well. So Cool doing pretty good in the postseason so far. That's what I like to see. Pretty dominant 2 first games. Now we have to win away from home, and that's going to be where the challenge ultimately is in this series. Can we manage to win away from home in regulation? 5-2 win there, so we at least get that done. Stutzel with his first, Hoggins and Meyer score as well, and then Stepanov and Stutzel score at the end. So 3-0 series lead. Same thing with Florida as well. Florida's playing Detroit, and I would have expected Detroit to run right through them. Because I feel as though they're the top team in the East, so it'd be crazy if they lose it. We can't quite get the sweep done. We do lose in overtime again. Hoggins and Watson ended up scoring, but ultimately losing. That is not what we want to see. Vic now injured. Fractured ankle. That is unfortunate. Looks like Waldman will take his spot. So obviously we won't delay treatment. Fractured ankle, I don't think that we would expect him to play with it. San Jose leads 3-1, and Pittsburgh and Philly making it a series with 2-2. But ultimately, does suck losing someone like Vic, but what can you do? Game 5, can we manage to get this one done? Or we do. We managed to win 7-0. That is a very good game for sure. Zalesny, Martoni. Martoni's back, so that's good. Joby, Zalesny with a pair, so he gets a hat trick in the second. Bolduc and Stepanov end up scoring as well. So we end up winning through that series, so at least we don't lose in the first round, which at that point I feel as though I would have to end this series if I end up doing that again. But I did see Ryabov there, so nice to see him getting some game time as well. We might take a look at some of the players that we traded away and see how well they're faring. New York ends up winning, so I do like seeing that as well. It's always nice to see a series that we've done at some point do well as well. So we'll take a look. We're facing Seattle. We played them 4 times as well. Nope, looking at the wrong one. We do face off against Winnipeg. Sorry, so divisional rival. We lost the first matchup. We lost the second one, and we won the third. So gonna be a difficult matchup for sure against a divisional rival. Can we manage to win game 1 here? And we do. 3-1. That's where I like to see Stepanov, Zalesny, and Patterson end up scoring. And ultimately, we go up 1-0. I'd rather obviously go up than go down. And it does look like Montreal is going to make easy work of Panthers as well. 92 points this season. And it looks like Olsen should be back soon. And Joey Stewart will be available for us. Can't we sign him, though? We can. This is actually kind of cool. If we end up getting to sign him now, he can maybe play with us this season, now that he's out of contract there. Or it also makes it so that we can sign him probably to an extension next season, because it's going to kind of factor in 2 years between this year and next year. So one of the reasons why I ended up doing that was for that exact reason. Is just so that we end up getting another year of eligibility. So we'll look at the other matchups throughout this playoffs as well, and we'll kind of see where we end up matching up there. So obviously nominations here. Let's see. So gonna have to go with Stahl. Seems like the obvious one. And then we'll look at who's playing who. So yeah, I'd rather play Kraken, I guess, than San Jose. San Jose were pretty good. Montreal should be able to win that one. And again, 2 series that I've done, so it'd be very nice to see Montreal win and then either one of those 2 win. Probably Montreal, one of my most successful series, and Philly, one of the most recent ones as well, other than this one. So it'd be nice to see that. San Jose, I mean, ultimately, I would love to face off against them, just because it would be another series that I did as well. We do lose 2-1. That is not what you want to see. Bullducks with the lone goal for us, and series is tied. This is not good. Obviously, I've already counted my chickens before they've hatched, and we do lose that game, which is not ideal. We now have to win probably both in Winnipeg, I'd say. And we do win 5-3, so we at least go up in the series. Martoni with his third, Dupont and Watson score, and then an action-packed third, but we come out on top with Martoni and Dickinson scoring there. But yeah, 2-1 lead. Obviously, we need to win the other one away as well. It's okay to lose one, but you don't want to lose the one at home. So I don't want it tied going back home. Can we manage to get this one? Game 4, we do win 2-1, luckily. In regulation, I thought it was going to be overtime with the scoreline. Dupont scores and Zalesny as well. So 2-0, or sorry, 2-1, or 3-1. And we need to win the last one here. Teed doing well in the AHL. That's what I like to see. Yeah, he's a 2-star player, but I mean, he looks pretty good. At least he looks like he's doing well in the AHL, which is always a plus. So can we win at home here? We do. 6-3. We go on to the conference finals. We've been here before. Hoggins, Martoni, Stutzel, and Dickinson, and then Stepanov and Aaron end up scoring in that one. Does punch our ticket there. Florida now up 3-2. New York up 3-2. 3-3 tied. Come on, Canadians. You gotta do it for us. 3-3 tied as well, making it a series with everyone. Florida ends up being the team on top, and New York ends up winning as well. So unfortunately, Philly can't win back-to-back years. It does look like it should be a new champ soon. Rangers up 1-0 already. Patterson suspended is not ideal either. So let's look at the preview. Played them 3 times. We lost the first one, won the second one, and won the third one. But obviously, none of that counts for anything. Patterson now out for a little while. Game 1, though, we lose 2-1. That is terrible. Dickinson with the lone goal. Rubric looking like he's going to make short work of us. And this would be a bad time to lose back-to-back. Like I said, our home record was pretty good, but somehow in the playoffs, it never seems to matter. So game 2, we win 7-1. That's what I would have expected from the first one. Stutzel, Zalesny, and Olsen, Hoggins, Bolduc, and Aaron score, and then Plaxton with his first of the playoffs, and making it count when we need to. Rangers also win there as well, and does look like the suspension's over for Patterson. Can we win in Seattle? And we don't. Go down 2-1 in the series with Martoni with the lone goal here. This is do or die at this point. And we really need the win to stay alive here. Let's just even it out. 2-2 series with Florida as well. And we have to win at least 1 in Seattle. Probably 2 at this rate. We do win 3-2, so we tie it up. Stepanov and Joby score, and then Stutzel with the game winner in the third period. Goes back to St. Louis, and all we need to do is win 2 straight here, and we can punch our ticket. Which ultimately would be 4 straight, I guess. Can we manage to win this one at home? We do. 3-2. Take the series lead there. Stutzel, Bolduc, and Meager with the goals there. Stepanov improves to left wing. He did get 29 points in the regular season, and it was his rookie season as well. Only 2.5 stars, or 3.5 stars though. Does put us in the lead here. Let's see with Rangers. Let's see if it's the end. It's tied 3-3, and ultimately we need to win here. Let's win in Seattle. Let's not force Game 7, and we do 1-0. Wow. Stepanov with the only goal in overtime. Crazy. That's always a tough way to go out. And towards the end, it looks like as well. So 10 seconds left in overtime. And Martoni and Stutzel are now hurt. Wow. Broken collarbone. and torn ribcage muscle. Of course, this happens now. That's crazy. We end up punching our ticket to the final, and we end up losing 2 of our better players. New York Rangers are meeting us there. I don't think delaying treatment makes sense. He's definitely going to be out anyways. But we do lose out Stutzel. That is rough. That is rough for sure. We did play them 2 games. We did lose the first one and win the second one. We're going to have to do this without Martoni. Yeah, they're both out for months, so there's no point. There's no point even delaying that. Selesny hurt though, dehydration day to day. Can we win game 1? We do have home ice advantage. If we lose 5-4, that's rough. If we lose this now, I'm going to be so pissed. Like, how do you lose your 2 best players or 2 of your better players at the same time as soon as you end up making it to the finals? So game 2, we do win 8-3, so at least we tied it up there. Cool and Baldock score. Spangberg gonna have to carry the load. Olsen, Meyer, Olsen, and Dickinson, and then Joby scores again. So definitely going to have to rely on some people. And another injury. Oh my god. Fracture shoulder blade. You got to be kidding me. This is starting to become overkill at this point. And Joby also hurt too. This is crazy. This is crazy. We're just a shell of what we are when it matters though. But series tied. We now head to New York. We're gonna have to get it done though. This is still crazy. I don't like how it's become like this. Yeah, fracture shoulder. How is he gonna play though? Delay treatment, whatever. We'll do that, but I don't think it's gonna matter. And ultimately, it's just kind of rough. Johansson improving as well, but like I said, we're gonna have to rely on players that we haven't had to this whole series. I'm gonna do it again after because I didn't realize it was so quickly after. But series tied. I mean, it was still pretty close between how they finished and how we finished. Only difference between 7 points, but ultimately, it's just ridiculous. Obviously, Malkin, Hedman, you kind of have to. I do like Sean Burke. I kind of want to do Sean Burke. And kind of, you got to go Brad Marchand. Obviously, I would do Eric Carlson, but he hasn't done anything. Like, he hasn't won anything, I guess, is what I meant to say. So, we head to New York. Can we manage to win on the road? And we don't. 3-0 loss. That is very rough to see. And this could be it, guys. Oh my god, another injury. 1 to 2 weeks with the bruised collarbone, so that's a new one. That is just wild. Can we manage to win this one? We're relying on AHL talent at this point. So can we win away from home? We do. 3-2. Cool Baldock end up scoring, and then Baldock scores in overtime there. I'm so flustered right now. We now head back to St. Louis. At least I've been extended, so there's a positive there. I don't know why they don't sign longer contracts than just 1 year out. It'd be nice to see like 5 years or 10 years if you're doing well. So can we win at home here? And we don't. We're on the brink here. Max Oskin with the lone goal there. Yeah, we're on the brink. We need to tie it up. We need to win the next 2. It's going to be a bit difficult to do. I'm optimistic, but we're coming so close and we just can't get it done. So game 6 here, we're gonna have to win in New York, and we don't. Ultimately, we lose again, and very upsetting. Just all the injuries, like you saw it happen. Baldock with his 9th, and ultimately we lose to New York, and I'm pretty pissed. Like, I know I don't sound it, but I'm pretty irritated of the amount of injuries that end up happening in peak times. Like, this isn't realistic to what would happen in the NHL. We do come up short once again, and ultimately, there's nothing you can really say or do at this point. We just need, I guess, better AHL talent, which is crazy. So Spanberg finishes the postseason with 18 points, Bolduc with 14, Dickinson with 14, Kuhl with 13, Zalesny with 12, and Joby with 12 as well with Dupont. So taking a look at grades though, Bieber with 71. So Bieber did pretty well. He's a decent acquisition. And even Nabakic doing decent as well. We'll look at the goalie stats. This is always where it failed us. A 927 save percentage, and we still didn't end up winning. 194 goals against. So we played phenomenally, I would say. Despite losing in 6 games, not much you can really do. Looking at the we'll look at actually the injured as well. I want to kind of see how well they did in once I find it. Yeah, look at the injuries. Three prime starters, I would say. So Martoni, how did he finish the postseason? He had 17 points in 16 games, so he was doing amazing. Stepanov, let's look at him as well. I mean, 12 and 17, that's still pretty good. And I don't even want to look at this one. 17 and 16. So we end up losing big players for that. I don't even know what Vic did. Did Vic even do anything in the postseason? Just watch. He's going to be the best out of all of them. No, only one game that he played. But yeah, ultimately disappointing. We're going to look at the cap obligations though. Martoni's still with us next year. Does show an increase though. Pretty steady increase, 7 million. So we're going to have to find a way to get that. And then in terms of defense as well, we do increase in 5 million. So yeah, someone's going to have to go. I'm not exactly sure who. Could even be Bieber. He did grade pretty high though, but it could be Bieber. We might have to trade him this offseason. Zalesny's the one that ends up commanding the most of a change there, and same thing with Joby. Joby we could trade too. I'm okay with that. But does look like yeah, Reinhold's probably not going to get re-signed. See what he wants. I mean, he doesn't want that much more. That is, yeah, but I feel as though we should probably give the look to someone else. But we'll kind of make those decisions as we go in the off season, and kind of take a closer look at the development of our players and who we can manage to kind of risk it with and part ways with. But we do have a decent amount of players that aren't going to be re-signed anyway, so we'll open it up for other players to get signed. But yeah, the huge difference overall between 91 million and 104. So pretty sizable amount that we have to kind of make up for. But we'll have to see how well we do next season. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get it done once again this series, and we can't win when it counts. So we're gonna have to kind of dig deep. Next season might be our last season, depending on how things go. But the fact that we haven't been able to win with St. Louis has been a little bit frustrating. But hopefully you guys like the series. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching. Until next time.